Principle number 7. Any task has a graphical solution. Now, this is a bold statement again, but let's think about first how would we usually go about solving tasks in our life. Usually, we would start asking our mind and probably talking about it. So here we have the mind and the speech. And how we do that is with language. So we think one word, one concept at a time. So we have this kind of sequential thinking, no, one word at a time. One sentence at a time. We think in a sequential pattern. Sequential and linear thinking. One after one after the other. And we hope to reach at a solution at some point. Now, with this kind of thinking, we're actually kind of trapped in the limitations of language, of linear thinking, as I said, of the semantics of the language, the patterns of the language. And Pavel says that not all tasks can be solved using language alone. Some tasks, they require more than language. And he also says that sometimes the more people talk, the more actually they get confused. So language does not always lead to clarity. We can talk ourselves into circles and not reach solutions, especially when it comes to complicated tasks where we need new solutions. Now, what happens when we try and draw our task? Whatever it might be. Maybe it's how to live more healthy or how to make more money, or maybe it's a complex task like planning a project or running a business. All of these could be potential tasks. So what we can do now is that we bring all our thoughts that we thought here one word at a time, we can bring them onto the paper. And of course, we also draw them onto the paper one at a time, but then at some point we can see them all. And this is a understanding of really seeing complexity. The drawing helps us to create new connections between things, to understand how they interact. We can change elements. So we tap into a kind of world of visual thinking, whereas here we have language, here we have graphical or visual thoughts, visual thinking. And that helps us to think more abstract. We can kind of attach more meaning. Now we talked a lot about different meanings. And we also have this process that we go through in Neurographica. So we don't only bring all the elements onto the piece of paper, but we also change them. There is a process that we go through in the drawing. And the final image, it really reflects the entire process. It shows us the entire process. So we can see the whole picture. And this, right, is like a saying in English, the whole picture, the bigger picture, we see the complete view. And that can, of course, help us come to new solutions, change our thinking. It brings complete thinking. We can think about all the things at the same time, and it makes it I think I mentioned that in another one. It makes it easier to, for example, distinguish between the things that are important and the things that are not so important. But what it also does is really help us see connections between things. We connect all the things together and we may see connections that we would never think of when we just use language. So, as I said, it can complete our thinking more. And it can bring out new and unconventional solutions. So, how solutions come up sometimes in a drawing is we literally see them. We literally look at the drawing and a figure stands out, and then we have the solution. It can literally be visible during the drawing or after the drawing. This is, of course, kind of connected to practice. But I definitely have this experience that I see the solution and then I absolutely know. And it's also, of course, connected to the fact that through the drawing process, we practice our intuition. We sharpen our intuition so we can see solutions that the logical mind, that the language mind might not be able to see. Also, we can experiment with alternate solutions. No, I can kind of try out, okay, what would it feel like if this was the important element in my drawing? Or what would it feel like if that one was the important element? And how would that change my inner experience? So this is how the entire process really allows us to experiment with different solutions, allows us to find our way through it. So, as I said, a little bit provocative, any task has a graphical solution.